right, and we're live. How's it going, guys? Welcome to the third episode of Code Not Seen. My name is Alex, and my lovely other host over there,
Tetris.
Tetris. How's it going today? Tetris is nursing a cold currently, so.
I am great. I've been getting a lot of art done. You know what?
That's good. That's all. That's you got to stay productive while
Yeah.
under the weather, and that's honestly good
Yeah.
advice on
And
this podcast and just in general. I mean, obviously get rest, stay hydrated, but obviously if your mental faculties are all there and you're ready to go, but you just happen to be at home because you're under the weather, try to be a little productive.
yes, sir.
Or just be life productive. Like if you've been putting off a video game you really want to be playing, play that. Like be productive and whatever gives you joy.
I've been
and
slacking on playing the games, but I've been working on stuff.
That's
In
good.
fact,
Mm-hmm.
I have an announcement to make,
Ooh,
and my
please.
announcement is that there will be an announcement next week.
So you're pulling the typical YouTuber like tune in next time so we can I'm gonna split this into multiple parts and we're gonna make it exciting. Man,
Yep.
we really have come full circle in just 3 episodes. Wow.
No, but really, I will be announcing the title of my game in a week.
Hey, Mazel Tov. That's good to hear.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
We'll make
Huzzahs
him
indeed.
making progress.
Yeah, absolutely. So, this today's podcast. Last time we kind of just like, I mean, we had structure, but we were talking more so just about some things we observed and games, movies, stuff that was on the horizon that we were interested in that we could talk about ad nauseum, and just we were just kind of hanging out. Today, if unless Tetris has anything to go, I was going to launch into some things.
A couple things before we get into our main.
Absolutely.
subject.
Tetris, you take it away then.
Okay, so I'm not gonna say what Pokemon it is, but a Pokemon that was announced recently. I recently discovered that for the new game, it has a new ability, and I just want to talk about this ability for a second.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone doesn't want a new ability spoiled, just skip ahead a few minutes. But I won't even say the name of the Pokemon. But this, it's called Armor Tail.
Armor Tail. Mm-hmm.
And it's a first time appearing in the game. It makes the opposing Pokemon unable to use priority moves.
So,
which,
as somebody that doesn't really keep track of a lot of the minutia of Pokemon battles, what does that mean?
so basically, for competitive, this is going to be insane. A priority move is a move that'll go first.
Okay.
So,
okay. I gotcha. That makes sense.
Typically, you get a lot of like stat raising abilities,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of like quick attack type moves.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, anything that has priority is missed.
Interesting. And
So basically,
is it? I'm assuming it's specific to this new Pokemon. It's not like just a new
it is
ability that's out
only
there.
this Pokemon so far.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't know if anything else will, but if this is the only Pokemon, I'm telling you now, this new Pokemon is going to be seeing a lot of play in the competitive scene.
Wow.
And
Until it gets
has,
banned.
Yeah, it actually has 2 new abilities. The other ones I don't really care about because it just basically is like, if you attach a berry, it'll eat the berry again after the turn. So you get 2 of its effect, which is okay, I guess.
Okay, all right. I mean, I can see the versatility in that.
I don't use a lot of berries because they only get 1 use per game.
Yeah. Or at least per battle or whatever. Yeah.
And Armor Tail sounds way more useful.
It definitely does. I mean, like I don't even play Pokemon competitively, and I'm like, now that I hear about it, I'm like, that sounds dangerous.
Well, I wanted this as soon as I saw it. I was like, I want this Pokemon on my team. And now I know that I might be able to actually use it competitively, and I might try to. It might be one of the first ones I shiny hunt.
Okay.
So I'm excited. Okay, 2 other small things.
Yes.
This weekend was Minecraft Live.
Mm-hmm.
I know you don't really play Minecraft a ton, but you need to. But they announced a couple new things. The weird thing was every year they typically have like what the next update is going to be. They have like a title of it.
Okay.
And this time they said we don't have a name for it yet because we want to develop it with the community.
Oh, interesting.
Kind of interesting. And they're like, we don't want to. They also said they don't want to tease anything that they can't confirm will be in it. Because last time they did a lot of stuff, and apparently the archaeology stuff that they mentioned in the last Minecraft Live
Mm-hmm.
never appeared in the update, and we still don't know where that stands.
Mm-hmm.
But they announced some new stuff where bamboo is finally going to be useful as a wood type, so you'll finally be able to have bamboo doors, stairs, um, all the fences and everything out of bamboo, which is
Okay, that's pretty cool.
really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
They announced hanging signs, which if you like making a fancy building like I do, I'm really excited for hanging signs. They look
Mm-hmm.
really cool. You got a new bookshelf, which is it's when you build it, it's empty,
Mm-hmm.
but you can put all your like your enchantment books and stuff inside of it, and it'll like fill up the slots.
Okay, okay.
And what's cool is they set it up where you can do like a redstone with it. So where if it has like a certain signal from a certain book,
Mm-hmm.
it'll like put off a signal and like open up a secret door, like the
Oh,
secret book.
okay,
So I'm
okay.
really excited about that. And then the last thing they announced out of there's only a couple big things. The last one is a camel, which is
Interesting.
a it's yeah I'm actually really excited about it. I never thought I would actually care about a camel,
Mm-hmm.
but well, first of all, the deserts are just bland and they need more
Right, yeah, yeah.
stuff in them to begin with. But it's a you can two people can ride it.
Oh, cool. Okay, so yeah, it's a bit more. Well, I mean, yeah.
It's the only mob that two people can ride. So
Oh,
and
okay,
it also
okay.
has like a dash jump thing, so you can like jump over like huge gaps.
Interesting. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not a well versed Minecraft player, but the last thing I would have expected was some kind of momentum based physics mechanics to
Yeah,
yeah.
like it gets kind of weird,
Right.
but I'm excited for it. And there was one other thing I was gonna say about the camel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like an enemy can't like hit you on top of it.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
like a
that's
zombie because it's too
versatile.
tall,
Yeah.
so it
So
can't like reach up and hit you. Well, of course, like the skeletons will be able to shoot
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
But you'll have one guy like driving it, and the other guy can have like a bow or a sword and like
And just
fighting the enemies while you're running around.
act like your
I'm like,
turret.
this sounds fun. I
Yeah.
like this.
I like that. It
And
definitely
then,
switches up probably the gameplay for a lot of, I mean, people that play Minecraft that maybe want to do something else or be a little bit
it'll
more
be very fun
combat
for
oriented.
also just exploring together. I think will be more fun.
Oh heck yeah. Mm-hmm.
The last thing was I don't know if you saw this. I just saw this today.
Mm-hmm.
The new PS5 controller that was announced.
I did see that.
Um,
Ah,
ouch.
ouch.
Like I
Yeah,
thought
that
I
that
thought
price point.
the
Oh jeez.
I thought the Joy Cons were bad enough.
Yeah, I
Being $80, like that,
well, just like
$200
controllers
is like half the
overall.
console.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I'm just saying. And controllers overall are still are already horridly expensive. They used to
Yeah,
be, I think,
60
like
bucks for a controller is plenty. Thank you.
yeah, but even that, I think like a lot of even like standard mainline like PS5 and Xbox Series X and Series S controllers, I think those are even going for like close to 70, if not like 80 bucks sometimes, especially for like the special edition ones, and of course,
Oh, for
but
sure.
yeah,
But if you go to the store, you can
200
find like a norm. Yeah,
yeah,
200.
$200 for a single controller with, I'm sure it's got some great features. I'm sure it's kind of tailored to,
I mean,
obviously.
I'm not going to be getting one.
No, I'm not going to be getting one either. No,
Probably.
I do not have that time
It's
or
like
money to
I was
even.
reading it. It's like the controllers are customizable. I was like, and that makes it $200. How?
Right?
Like, I don't care. I don't care if you can like map different buttons to what. That
Mm.
that doesn't make it worth $200.
And like, I'm sorry, but that should be a feature just in the any game itself, is
Yeah.
mapping your own controls. Like that should not be $120,
I mean,
$140 upsell point for a piece of hardware. I'm sorry, that's just
I mean, like I'm
ridiculous.
sure it has other features, but that I from that alone, I was like, that ain't worth.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm sure there's other things with it, but from what I can tell, that's like the main draw is that
Sell
yeah, you can
point, yeah.
customize your controls and your inputs and stuff like that. Yeah,
That's why I have a PC.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure we'll
Let's
see.
go.
I'm sure we'll see more on those as they come out, and maybe, who knows? Who knows? Maybe it'll have something that like absolutely
They
makes it worth the price. But we for now,
I'll tell you though, they got one thing that's going for them. They do have a cool name, the DualSense Edge.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's a good name, but I don't think it's $200 worth
Nah, it's not. I mean,
of a good name.
sometimes you can sell on a name though. We'll see what the
Maybe if it was like the Tetris Edge controller,
yeah, that would be good. That would be very good.
that might make it worth more $200. But
Exactly.
I think that's about it.
Okay. Actually,
Yeah.
before we launch
Unless you have
into,
any other little things.
I didn't at first, but you talking about Minecraft got me remembering something I'd seen today. I think it was today. I'm not sure if it was today or if it was yesterday or just during the week, but the Sims had kind of their own.
That was today.
Yeah, it was today. Okay, cool. I was just making sure. They had like kind of their own. I don't know if it was like a panel or a presentation or something, and they basically showed off what everyone is assuming is The Sims 5. But I think now it's called like Project Rain or something like that.
Project Renee.
Is that what it's?
I believe.
Oh, okay,
I believe was
something with an R.
Yeah, it looked like Renee.
Okay.
Why it was today is today was also, I think, they officially released Sims 4 for free.
Oh, okay.
So the base game, obviously, you
Right,
still
and
have to pay for
the DLC,
all of the DLCs, but
yeah.
they're like, but apparently, like, if you bought the game before, you get one of the DLCs for free. I guess.
Okay, maybe I should check that out.
Which is kind of cool. I mean, it's still EA, but
yeah. But I mean, but that being said, like what they did show off, I only saw a few screenshots of like kind of like the customization system, and I think it was just like very like pre-alpha footage of them, or how like putting together a room looks like and building the house. But it looks really intuitive. Not only does it look intuitive, but it looks fun to interact with, which has kind of been not necessarily like the bane of me playing the Sims games lately, but every time I play it, I feel like it's just kind of a slog to get into the myriad of sub menus and go through all the options to customize your living space. And sometimes it's not that intuitive. Sometimes I really want to be creative.
I'm the exact opposite.
Oh, really?
I any hours I have on Sims is mostly just building my house.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like that's.
Then I'm just like, and then I just start playing the game. I'm like, yeah, this is kind of boring. I'm gonna go make another house now.
No. I mean, that's usually what most of my time spent playing a Sims game is in the customization and building and making everything look nice. But I'm just saying, I think that this new one makes it a lot more intuitive to do that, and I'm liking that.
It looked nice.
There's something else I was gonna say about it, but I was just gonna say, like, I'm sure it's gonna come with 50 million downloadable content.
Yeah, I can't wait for all the $400 worth of DLC that I'm gonna have to pay.
It's awesome, yay!
But there was one other thing I could mention about Minecraft Live is they announced Minecraft Legends. I don't know if you've seen this.
I know very little, but I do know
real time. It's like an RTS Minecraft game.
Oh, okay. That sounds good to me.
It looks pretty cool. It's a real time strategy game where you're gathering all of the mobs from the overworld to defeat the piglins coming in from the Nether.
Oh, okay.
It looks pretty fun, and apparently it's also multiplayer, which I thought looked interesting. So
okay.
So, but hey, for the only good time, creepers are actually going to be on your side. So
sounds about right.
But yeah, it looked pretty interesting.
When
I first saw it, I was like, I don't know. And then they started like showing the multiplayer and how the combat worked, and I was like, okay.
It's like, I'm on board.
Yeah, I could see it. It looks
I can
fun.
mess with this. Well, very cool. I have to get on the Minecraft train at some point. You do. It's just time. It's just time. I'm almost convinced I'll never have more so of, but I'm gonna try. and do better. Time management is on my list of things to work on.
I figured this is something you would want to talk about actually before we get into the new topic.
Yeah.
Because you know a lot more about this than me, both because one, I don't really care about Bayonetta, but have you seen all the stuff that's going on with the voice acting and stuff for the new one? Do you want to go over that a little bit?
I
saw a little bit about it, and I was like, I mean, I don't really care about Bayonetta, but
I will speak extremely lightly on it, only because I think it's a very reactionary situation in that we had heard, for those of you that aren't aware, Bayonetta's original voice actress came out recently, and basically said she was offered only $4,000 to record the entirety of Bayonetta 3, and that, this was an insult. This is very unbecoming of a company that has made hundreds of millions of dollars based on the property, and that she deserved more. And she was basically calling for a boycott of the game. And the initial response is, yeah, absolutely. For those of you that may not be just very cognizant of how much you should be paid for voice work. It varies. There's a scale, and there's a lot of factors into how much you're being paid. But the biggest takeaway from that is you need to realize that voice work is not consistent. It's not a 9-to-5 job that you get paid hourly or dollars an hour. And from the outside, you're like, that's a lot of money. Like, who could sneeze at that? That money and that work is not guaranteed. You need to constantly be working to book those gigs and to get that money. And it's and they say auditioning is the job, and that is extremely true. It's potentially going to make millions, if not tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah, because Bayonetta is huge.
Yeah, it's huge. It's gotten way popular in the public eye over the course of the entries that have been released. I also won't speak too much on the director, but he's had some drama on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that he got banned.
Yeah, well, he got suspended, and then he came back, and he's kind of just not really about this. We'll throw a whole bunch of legal issues into the mix, but anyways, that was the reaction about a day or two. While still, I think in some eyes that's still a little bit low for the grandiosity of the Bayonetta games. That's definitely a lot more respectable. I think, in my opinion,
that is it. Personally sounds better.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know a ton about VA stuff.
At least for the work, potentially $20,000. That's, I mean, you could make an argument either way for that being good or bad, but it's definitely a lot better than $4,000 flat rate. But I had heard, and again, this is just rumor, this is a topic we can get into another time, but basically residuals don't exactly exist for video games because they're not that usually residuals are tied to like TV series or movies, things that continuously air on TV and they're syndicated, and things that you can constantly gain a profit from because they're aired in rerun format, and they're constantly on the air. Video games are a product that you buy and you own. Like, you'll buy it, you'll own it, and then you'll have it. It's not something that it's going to be like placed on, it's not going to be, I mean, obviously people stream it, but it's not something that can be syndicated or serialized. It's just not, it's not going to make any residuals. So that was a weird situation. I can update you guys if I hear anything more about that, but basically where I'm sitting on is kind of right in the middle. I just kind of want to know more about the situation. I support voice actors fighting for The right pay, absolutely 100%. But it does sound like there's a lot more information to this situation that we're not privy to. So I'm going to hold out my judgment until we hear a bit more. But yeah, it's keep your eye on Twitter. Twitter is definitely a space for all the info if you're interested in learning more about that.
Alrighty.
Yeah, but anyways, as long as we're on the voice acting train, I wanted to just go through a couple of just a few things that you can do if you're interested in voice acting and you're not exactly sure where to get your start or what to do. And believe me, these are questions I had, and I didn't really have anybody to answer my questions. I kind of just went online and saw what other people were doing and kind of tried to copy them and see if it worked out. And I is happy to say that so far it has, but I will also say it didn't come without at least a little bit of backing and experience. So just first off, a little misconception about voice acting is that people think voice acting is more focused than any other form of, or it's just its own thing. And what you have to remember about voice acting is that it's actually acting first and voice second. You need to be able to act.
Acting voice then.
Yeah, exactly.
Not voice acting.
Yeah, voice acting rolls off the tongue a little bit easier, but it's very true. I think a lot of people focus on like, oh, I can change the pitch of my voice and I can make wacky and weird voices, but you need to be able to act well, and you need to understand the fundamentals of acting. So, if you have any local community theater groups, or if you can take a theater class, acting class, whether you're in high school, you're in college, you're pursuing a theater degree, maybe if you're or if you're not even pursuing it and you just have a vague interest in it, there should be if you're in school, there should be definitely resources to you, whether that's through tutors or classes or just specialized programs that you can join into. And like I said, definitely community theater as well. That's a great place to just meet people, get your feet wet in the acting scene, understand script work, and it's invaluable experience even outside of your preparation to become a voice actor. It's always going to help you out really with a lot of what you do. A lot of people that were in the acting scene, it has helped them with maybe their jobs, customer service. You got to act a lot in those types of jobs. You gotta always kind of put on a happy face more often than not.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah, and so community theater is an option. Classes are an option if you're in school right now. Outside of that, improv. Any sort of improv is great practice for voice acting. And acting in general, because improv helps you think on your feet, helps you kind of build bonds and communities with people that are also taking part in the improv classes or the groups that meet up, usually on a weekly basis. But also it's just fun. It's just fun to improv. It's just fun to kind of hang out with people and like be given situations in which you have to, like I said, think on your feet or just be a little bit more spontaneous and I
like being spontaneous.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of like the key to improv is that you always never say no. And that just means that if you're on stage and someone's giving you a situation and somebody tells you you're this person and now you have to act as this person, you can't say, no, I'm going to be this person. It's like, no, that's not the point of improv. The point of improv is you're given information and you need to act on that information.
Do it.
Yeah. I mean, but it's definitely daunting, and it's embarrassing to do that at first, and you're gonna feel shy, you're gonna feel nervous, and you're gonna feel all these anxieties well up in you. But it is an absolutely invaluable experience to go and do some improv and just do, like I said, just do acting in general. But let's see, where do I want to go through from here? I mean, Tetris, you got any questions on your end that you might think somebody might have from the outside perspective, or?
Not at the moment.
Not the moment. Okay.
I'll keep thinking.
No worries. Well, okay. I mean, I guess I can kind of
for the most part, I'm like, I just like, oh yeah, I agree. It makes sense.
Definitely. But yeah, yeah. So just any resources you can find that are in your area. There's always going to be resources available to you. People, I think, assume they have to be in LA, or they have to be in Dallas, or they have to be in New York to really, be where the work is at, so you can gain opportunities. And no matter where you are, you can get experience, and you can hone your craft, and just make yourself a lot more comfortable in the industry, and your own abilities as well. Start to see what you can mess around with in your voice and everything. And it's just experience. It's always going to be available to you. If me personally, I took theater all throughout high school and into college, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. A lot of people, I think, nowadays like to talk about and think about high school, and they were like, "It wasn't so great. I had some bad times."
I
I
am one of those.
Yeah, I can't really relate. I do relate on some bits. There was moments of high school that I really did not enjoy, and I can empathize with people that just did not
I
enjoy
mean,
high school at all.
maybe if there were game dev classes,
Yeah, that would have been
you know,
a
that
lot cooler. Yeah.
I would have enjoyed it a bit more. Where they're like, "Hey, homeschool, go make a game," and I'm like,
Yeah. It's like,
"Yeah,
please, can I?
really?
Right.
Are you sure?"
But yeah, but I mean, but I did theater, and I loved pretty much every bit of it. Just getting to know people in that had similar interests, and wanted to create a production that really made people laugh, made people cry. That's really the end goal of a lot of acting, is to put the human experience on display on a stage, and it really is experience like no other. But anyways, I did theater all throughout high school, throughout college. I did community theater outside of that. I did multiple shows, and it was just, and it wasn't for like, I never did it out of, oh, this is going to, like, I'm going to do this show and it's going to make me better prepared for what I want to pursue down the line. I just liked doing it. So if you don't like acting, but you want to be a voice actor, it's not going to really fit together. You kind of need
Yeah.
to enjoy the craft itself in order to fit into that niche, because voice acting itself, yes, it's very attractive. A lot of people like to obviously like to see their voice come out of something that isn't them, or someone that isn't them. It's in a very attractive industry, but you do need to, at your core, have an appreciation for
That's
the
why
craft behind it.
VTubers is a thing now.
Yeah, absolutely, and that is absolutely part of it as well. That's a kind of a brand new facet of it, but it absolutely encompasses
It
everything
is
about it.
such a crazy idea, like,
Mhm.
but it's so cool.
Yeah, definitely, and
There's a lot of people, new experiences, as well as like a ton of just regular like voice actors that have been doing it for a long time are becoming VTubers now,
yeah,
and they're like, "Hey, let's go."
yeah, exactly, and it fits right in
And
the pocket.
eventually, Alex,
Mhm.
eventually,
Eventually, we'll see what
maybe.
happens. I may do it once I start streaming. I might actually look into
It's pretty fun.
creating a VTuber at some point. But so and obviously outside of that, outside of like going outside of your house, and attending, community theater or classes that you might want to take, there's a myriad of resources available online. I would like to amass some links and some just sources that I know of. I don't have them on me immediately, but definitely maybe in a future video, or in the
We have
description
been
of this.
struggling
Yeah.
with the description. We have yet to link anything, really.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Eventually. But yeah, either in a future video or in some of the descriptions of these videos, we'll try to include some helpful links and some places you can go to if you're truly interested in voice acting, and probably game dev too. I don't know
Yeah,
if
for sure.
you have some sources on that.
For sure.
But there's a few websites that I know of. Casting Call Club is kind of a mainstay for a lot of fans that are wanting to get into voice acting. A lot of people put their projects on there, and they're always usually open casting calls. You can submit auditions, and if they sometimes there's paid opportunities. There's unpaid opportunities as well. And obviously that kind of comes down to your own preference. If you want to only take paid work, if you want to make that money, I totally understand. That's totally within your right.
Money is nice.
Money is very nice, but if you want to really just get some more experience, maybe meet some people, and really try to make something that's not for profit and mostly just fan based, the unpaid opportunities can hold some really really nice gems. I've done many unpaid project in the past, and well, not all of them have been super great. A lot of them have been definitely good learning
Hey,
experiences.
hey,
And
I know I've yet to pay you, but when the
yeah,
game comes out,
speaking
I
of
will,
which,
I will pay you.
hmm, yeah,
Oh,
we'll see about
100%.
that. We'll see.
Amy, you deserve it.
Ah, thank you, thank you.
Your talents are wonderful.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
So
that.
you deserve to be paid.
Thank you, thank you. But yes, yeah, that is another
Might
thing.
might not be the funds like Bayonetta, but
Yeah,
or just a small indie.
no, that's fair. You're not Platinum Games. You're not Nintendo. You're not Sega.
No,
You're
no,
good. It's
no.
okay. But yes, and absolutely, and know your worth. But that doesn't mean, obviously hound down small time indie creators and be like, you need to pay me union rates. It,
Yeah, hey.
it's always fine to ask questions if you want to be part of a project, and maybe the budget or the pay is unclear and not specified. You can always ask the project runner, just, hey, just curious, what's the budget for this, and what are you looking to pay the actors or the creatives behind the scenes. And then they should tell you if you approach them diplomatically like that. And if it's something that you don't think is worth your time, then you have every right to respectfully step away. But yeah, never let anyone take advantage of you or try to get free work out of you if the understanding is that you're going to be compensated for the work you're doing. Absolutely, if you're doing fan work that is unpaid and that's the agreement up front, then no problems whatsoever. That's totally fair. But just for a little bit of more personal story experience on that, and I started doing stuff on Casting Call Club. I started doing stuff on Behind the Voice Actors, which is more so, I think, a database nowadays as opposed to kind of a casting call bulletin website, which it kind of was back then. I do remember seeing a lot of open casting calls, but now it's kind of more so a voice actor database, which is very cool. You should check it out when you get the chance. So that's Casting Call Club, and that's Behind the Voice Actors. Just look them up on Google. There are some really good sources for you there. But then this will be a little harder to find. I think online will be your go-to for finding just resources to help you out, or classes or lessons, or voice actors giving their experience and things like that. But if you're able to find some in-person voice acting focused classes in your area, those are obviously very invaluable as well. It can get a little iffy on pricing. Sometimes they might be a little cheap. Sometimes they could be horridly expensive. It all depends on your own budget and what you're willing to spend. At least for me personally, 3 years ago when I moved out here to Dallas, Texas, I immediately looked up voice classes because I wanted to come out here. Not only was it an effect of me transferring jobs out here, but I also did want to come out here to pursue voice acting in any way I could. So before I left, I looked up voice acting classes in Dallas, Texas, because I knew it was a hub for voice acting, so I knew there had to be some classes around it. And I went to Voices Carey, which is run by Bruce Carey. He's a great voice actor, a great teacher. And I was super nervous because I had flown out here before I had moved just to kind of scope out the area, and Voices Carey was the place I wanted to check out and maybe see if I could at least sign up for classes or see what the schedule was like. And I went in there, and I didn't know exactly where I was going, so I stepped into a room, and they were in the middle of a class, and I felt so bad. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I just kind of wanted to give my information to somebody and see if I could sign up for classes. And the teacher there, I can't remember his name. It wasn't Bruce. It was one of his assistant teachers, but he was super cool. And he's like, no, come on in, take a seat. You can sit on in this pro bono, no pay. It's just for experience, and we'll just kind of take you through and see what you got. And it was just a really, really fun experience. I got to meet some people, and we went through some scripts, some acting choices, and we got
All
to...
for free?
Well, just that one class. I think it was because they were almost done as well. I think it's because they were like
Gotcha.
halfway done, and they're not going to like turn me away or like say get out or anything like that. But he was super nice
Some
about it.
people.
Yeah, some teachers might, and they have every right to do that. But this teacher
Yeah.
was really cool, and he was just
That's good.
really
That's good.
amicable. And at the end of it, I was like, hey, I'm moving down here. I'd like to start taking classes here, and I'll pay for these ones. How do I do that? And he's like, no problem. And he gave me like the email to send all my stuff to. And yeah, and it was just a really great experience. And as soon as I fully moved down here, I started taking classes there, and it was a ton of fun. And just like I met so many people and got some really good experience, not just with like I think when we think voice acting, we think like, anime or video games or cartoons and movies and stuff like that. We did focus on that, but we also focused on commercials and audiobooks and
Yes,
e-learning
commercials.
stuff, which is all also a very, very good way to pay your bills, because those are maybe the less flashy side of voice acting, but it's
Oh, for
definitely
sure.
in need. A lot of people need people to do commercials, do e-learning, do audiobooks, and it's always going to be there as a pretty consistent money-making source for voice actors. So you'll notice that voice actors, they'll love to talk about like their big roles, their big anime, their video game show roles, but I guarantee you 99.9% of voice actors out there also do commercial stuff on the side to make sure bills are paid in between those times when you
So,
can't nail down a
so
role.
if we ever have guest voice actors, is the question we need to ask them, what's your favorite commercial you've been in?
Yeah, actually, well, I mean that is actually an interesting, because like that's not the typical question that comes to mind, obviously, when you talk to a voice actor.
Absolutely.
So
I mean,
I kind of want to
I'd
ask more voice actors I know that now, because I think
be
from
interested in hearing.
I would, yeah, exactly. I think from what I remember, some voice actors I've talked to, and I've asked them, oh, have you done like commercial spots before? And they're like, yeah, I did it and I got paid and I never saw the commercial. So I have no idea if it's out there, if it aired, if it's in the ether.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea. And so I'm like, oh,
Have
that's
you
interesting.
done any commercials?
I've done one very small commercial thing that I'm not even sure if it ever made it to air, but basically this kind of ties in pretty well. A friend I had made at Voices Carry, I didn't take I took classes there for like my first year here in Dallas, and then I kind of fell out of it, only because of something happened in 2020 that kind of pushed public
Hey, wonder what
classes.
what that could have
Wonder
been.
what that was. Yeah. And I kept up with they switched to online classes. I kept up with that for a while, but after a while I kind of just had to focus a little bit more on work. Money was an issue, so I couldn't really do classes a lot. But anyways, a friend that I'd made in those classes reached out to me maybe about half a year ago or so, and he was interested in hiring me for a commercial spot. And I think it was for a company that was kind of like upstart, and they just kind of needed somebody to voice some really quick commercial advertisements, where it was just basically saying these couple lines of text and then the company name. And I
Gotcha.
think I did like 8 or 9 of those, and I got paid for it, and it was awesome. And but I haven't heard from the guy, and I haven't seen those commercials online or on
That was
air at all. So
maybe they happened.
maybe they happened, maybe they didn't, and I think that's something you're gonna also have to kind of deal with commercials. Commercial work is kind of more so a do it, get paid, and forget about it. Just because like who know, like even the people that are usually
Yeah.
running it don't even know when a commercial is going to air. They're like, it'll air at some point on this channel, maybe we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's an interesting question. I'll probably bring that up to some more voice actors, and just because I'm curious now, I want to know.
It's genuinely an interesting
Yeah,
idea.
exactly. But yeah, so yeah, just going back to my main point on that, just yeah, take classes, do your research. I like I said, I will try to provide as many sources as I can throughout these videos and in the descriptions, because I do want to give anybody that's interested in this craft the tools they need to access what they need. So yeah, we'll definitely talk about that more at length in future episodes. But I think that might be. I was gonna talk about voice acting like equipment, like your microphone and your sound interface and your sound treatment of the space that you're gonna be recording in, but I might save that for another video,
You
just
sure?
because that can get really detailed. And the one thing I will say about it is don't focus on getting a super expensive setup. voice getting a good quality voice recording is so much more about the space you record in as opposed to the equipment you record with.
Yeah.
And you can sound treat a space really cheaply as long as you know what materials to get. And like I said, we'll talk about that more at length in a different episode. But yeah,
I need to get some sound stuff for my room for
yes,
streaming and stuff as well. So
yeah, not only is it good for voice acting, it's just good for if you need a space to kind of like do your streaming, or if you want to play and have it be quiet in there, you know, you can do that.
yeah,
as long as
absolutely.
it's sound treated.
So this is also things that I want to know.
It helps out. It's all universal. It's all good knowledge to know.
Yeah, I don't think any of my advice can help you much though. For
You'd be surprised. I mean, like, you know, there's things about coding. There's things about, you know, obviously your animation processes that I want to know more about, because I've always wanted to get back into drawing and animating, but it's just, again, a time thing.
Yeah, there's so many. It's so hard to juggle all these things, you know.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Like I haven't really like drawn much till like this like last month.
mm-hmm.
Like all year, I'd pretty much not drawn anything, and I just started.
I was
Making that game in a week helped me.
yeah, right. I'm guilty of that too, honestly, because I drew a lot back in high school, and it's something that I've always wanted to get back into.
Drawings.
I was like, I mean, like I didn't like trace a lot, but I usually referenced a lot of, like, you know, artwork I did like, and I tried to usually emulate it.
That's how you learn how to do art.
Mm-hmm. But
you
and
adapt
then, like,
to your own style from using styles you like.
that's the thing, is like I've never actually fully created my own style, and that's something I've always wanted to do. And like months ago, I bought a sketch pad, and then I never used it, and it was just blank. And
that this is kind of a similar thing to voice acting with art, is like, even though I'd say I have my style, it's always adapting.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean,
it's always changing. I'm hardly ever doing the same thing.
There's a phrase I've heard uttered a few times in voice acting, and this can apply for really any passion-driven, creative-based industry or career choice, and that phrase is, "We lift from the best," and that means, you know, we've been inspired, we've seen work that has come before us, and it's absolutely natural to pull things from that, and if it's an artist that we like, how they draw things, or how they write things, how they sing things.
I mean, absolutely. My game definitely is inspired by many other games.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm not gonna hide that.
Yeah, and as long as you're not completely plagiarizing something, or, you know, copying it word for word, or pixel for pixel, you know, you can absolutely say, like, my work is inspired by a list of creators, or any person that has preceded you in that same field, and that's totally fine, and it's absolutely needed, honestly. But yeah. Yeah, like I said, we'll talk about equipment at another time, but that's pretty much all I had on my end for at least my main topics of voice acting for the day. Tetris, did you want to speak on anything, or did you have any other small topics you wanted to go through?
I was curious. We might save it for another episode, but I was wondering if you wanted to maybe go over the fall anime season.
Yeah. No,
what you're interested in?
Yeah, we've definitely got time for that. I'm down for that. Honestly, I need to pull it up, because I know a few shows.
I am also bringing it up because I haven't I haven't been watching anime. Oh, speaking of, I am 7 chapters away from finishing Spy X Family.
Oh, very nice. Or at least getting caught up. Or it's not complete, is it?
Well, yeah, caught up with the manga,
okay,
and then
good,
start watching the anime.
Good to know.
I get caught up. So
right.
But I'm there. I'm getting to the end. In fact, I saw it today. I was like, when I started this today, it was like 9 chapters left. Oh no, what am I gonna do? It's taking up so much of my time.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
But no, I'm gonna start reading Hunter x Hunter. So.
Okay. Cool.
Got plenty of that to read.
Oh yeah, you definitely do. But yeah, so
which just started going again, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, it did. Oh, that's right. I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, I saw a post, or I saw like an update post from, I think, the author, and everyone freaked out because they're like, "Oh, it's continuing! Thank."
Yeah.
But
you got the season up?
I've got at least, or I've got the Crunchyroll page up, and I just wanted to look at like things that have just recently been updated. But I kind of know exactly, or I kind of know what's like on the horizon or
I
things that
mean,
have
I know
already kind of
you're
come out.
excited for Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, no, I am excited for Chainsaw Man.
I'm not.
That's fair. No, I've talked to a lot of
But
people that
I know a lot of people are excited for it.
yeah. I will say this: the animation is stellar. It's very. I mean, it's very gory. Its subject matter is very
Oh,
gory. It's very
it is.
visceral.
It is Mappa.
Yeah, Mappa.
So
But concept wise and character wise, it seems very very dynamic, and a lot of people are super super into the show right now. Um, and even leading up to the show's airing date, people were just talking about it crazy. It was like Chainsaw Man, Chainsaw Man. I was one person that didn't know too much about it, so I looked up a little bit more on it. And while I will say it's not exactly genre wise my cup of tea with anime,
yeah.
I'm interested in it. I'll definitely give at least a few episodes a watch, if not the whole thing. If I decide I'm super into it. One that's kind of under the radar, and I do not know too much about, only that I know that a couple of my friends have already done some stuff for it, is Golden Kamui.
Which one's that one?
Spelled Kamuy. Golden Kamui. Or Kamui. I'm not exactly sure how to say that, but it looks very I just took the only things I've seen are some shots. So it's golden and then Kamuy. Yeah. I only seen some shots and the poster, and it looks very JoJo's Bizarre Adventure inspired.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but
yeah. I think I've seen this somewhere.
Yeah, that one definitely looks interesting. I again, I don't know too much about it. I'm gonna look up some
Season
more
4 of the anime is airing.
Is it really? Oh, so this isn't a new show?
This is not new.
Oh,
apparently.
Interesting. Huh? I thought it was totally new. I guess not. Wow, that is something I did not know. I thought this was brand new, but I guess not.
Nope. I guess not.
It might just be a new season that's coming out and everybody's excited for it. I guess so. But yeah, so that's another one. And then at least one other one I know that's pretty big right now is Blue Lock. That's a
the soccer
based,
one?
sports one, yeah. That one seems interesting, and I don't even like I don't even like sports anime too much, but that one seems really interesting because it seems to be a cross between a soccer anime and Squid Games, kind of, in that it's like this. It seems to be this kind of like elimination based soccer tournament.
I hope it's like it goes crazy like Prince of Tennis did.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Where it's just like the crazy attacks.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure it will, but yeah, it definitely seems like an interesting premise. It's only a couple episodes in right now, but I kind of want to check out the manga just to see where the story goes. And what I know
nothing about it either.
Yeah, those are the big ones in my mind.
I mean, I know Spy X Family season 2 is airing.
Yes, I need to.
Which I'll probably watch. Mob Psycho 100.
Yes, season 3. That well. If we're talking about some voice acting drama, that one had it too.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. So this is another one that I don't claim to know more than I let on. I'm very uninformed about a lot of things concerning this facet of the industry, but from what I understand, when Mob Psycho moved, didn't move, but the purchase of Funimation by Sony and the merging of Crunchyroll and Funimation together, a lot of the recording work moved to Dallas, Texas, just because that's where Crunchyroll kind of mainstay office and recording studio is. And as a result, a lot of the work became non-union, which did not sit well with a lot of union-based voice actors. Because small, very, very simple rundown of how union and non-union work works is, if you don't belong to the union, you can do non-union work and you can do union work, but if you are going to do union work, you have to be what's known as Taft-Hartley, which is basically it's just another form that you have to sign, usually in the process of auditioning and booking a role. If you're not part of the union, they have to bring out that piece of paper and you sign it, and I haven't ever done that before, but that's just the very baseline general stuff I know about it. But if you're union, you can only do union work because the union is what ensures that you get a proper rate of pay, It ensures, I'm pretty sure, you get benefits. And then also just it kind of ensures your work is. It doesn't ensure that your work is always flowing in, but it at least gives you a sense of what your work is worth, and it definitely, they advocate for you to get paid properly, and and just good pay. Usually non-union work is kind of a little bit more loosey-goosey with the rates and what they're willing to pay you, which is why a lot of corporations will sometimes advocate, or not advocate, but they'll lean more towards doing non-union work. Anyways, this all comes back around to the fact that the voice actor for Mob and Mob Psycho is a union-based actor. And
Gotcha.
unfortunately, with the series moving over to Texas, where, a lot of non-union work, they decided to recast that role.
Oh.
And they had done it for 2 seasons, and this is the 3rd season, and they're recasting the main character. And it came out in, yeah,
That's rough.
it's rough as heck, and
That's always a hard thing to do.
it is, and I really feel for the voice actor, and there's a lot of conversation going on between, like, the voice acting space, and they were, and I think the hashtag just a meeting was floating around, because that's really all they wanted. That's all they were just saying, like, let's just sit down and talk about this. Let's try to work out something that works out for everybody involved. Even if this has to be non-union, or if this has to be handled a certain way, we just want to talk about it. But obviously that didn't happen. Recording went on as planned. Recasting went on as planned, and I don't think anybody took to that too well. Again, I don't know a lot about what's going on. I'm just regurgitating info I've observed online, but
that sucks though.
yeah, not to be a downer, but I wish whoever is in
But
the
hey,
role,
if you're excited for the new season,
yeah.
I've only watched a few episodes, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very caught up. But
No,
it
that's
is
fair.
on my list of things to watch.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean,
My Hero Academia 6th season is coming out.
yes, I need to get caught up because I did not
I'm
finish the last season.
pretty. I think I'm caught up to where this season's gonna start in the
Mhm.
manga, but I do need to get caught up again
Okay,
with the
that makes
manga.
sense.
So it
Yeah,
is ending soon.
yeah. I remember the author said, like, he
7, I think 7 or 8th season will be the end.
really.
It
Oh
is.
wow.
It is coming to an end. So,
Okay. That's interesting.
well, from where I was in the manga, like
Hmm.
you knew it was ending. Like
Oh, okay.
everything's coming to a close. So
Yeah. I mean, has the manga ended yet, or is it just kind of on its way
um,
out?
it's on its way out.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's wrapping up to the big finish.
I mean, well, but I also guarantee you, like, once it finishes, give it a year or two, and I'm sure there will be a sequel or a spin-off, or
Oh, of
maybe even a
course.
prequel
Of
series,
course.
or
Well,
there's gonna be more to
the
this.
manga already has like 3 spin-offs.
Yeah, well, I know Vigilantes is one, and then I don't know
Uh,
about the other ones, but
there's like there's like there's one about just the girls,
oh, okay, interesting.
and then there's like one about the villains.
Ah, gotcha. Oh,
Yeah. So
I mean, it's an endlessly profitable IP,
they're
and it's
they're
about
never gonna end
superheroes,
it.
and it's never gonna end. We'll get more and more. People say superhero exhaustion is coming, but it's been year after year, and we still it's still like one of the most profitable genres out there. So yeah. Yeah, but I need to get caught up. I did not finish the last season. I got, I think, about halfway through, and it kind of just dropped off my radar. Not out of disinterest or anything. I just, there's a lot of other series coming out, and I need to get caught up.
Go
So,
over a few more
yeah.
interesting looking ones that. Do you have any other ones that you're excited about, or I'll just go over a couple more. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I feel like there was one I wanted to talk about, and I just can't remember what it is right now.
Shinobi no Itoki looks
That does look
interesting.
interesting.
We're finally getting
Mhm.
a good question mark ninja show.
I mean,
Maybe-
your personal preference
maybe-
comes into play, but
maybe I'll take a big rant towards Naruto at some point, but
Mhm.
in short, Naruto greatly offends me as a big fan of actual ninjas,
Fair.
and I know people like Naruto, and that's fine,
Hmm.
but I could never get into it, and this looks like it might be closer to what I want as
Mhm.
as a ninja fan, but it's hard to say, you know.
Totally fair. I'm kind of on the same boat with Naruto. I think it was just I tried to start Naruto a little too late. I wasn't there when it was like super popular in the early 2000s, and it was like, you know, syndicated
There
on
near the
Toonami and
beginning.
stuff.
One of my good friends was pretty much kept me updated in what happened in every single chapter, so I pretty much know the whole story
Okay, okay.
of Naruto.
Mm-hmm.
Every day I'd see him, he'd tell me about the last episode that happened. So
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much know most of it.
Okay, okay.
But I couldn't get into it. There was just a few things that hurt me.
Totally fair.
Which
Understandable.
I do eventually. I would like to do a segment where I rant for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Also fair.
Most of those occasions it'll be about game development
Mm-hmm.
on like why games do certain things. But I've been thinking about this one for a long time. Is I have an Animal Crossing rant in the works.
Mm-hmm.
Another little teaser, but I'm gonna go hard on Animal Crossing at some point.
Okay, I'm all for that.
Constructive criticism. I love Animal Crossing, but
But you know,
teaser.
you gotta say.
Anyway,
what you gotta
there's this one. I've somehow gotten stronger when I improved my farm.
say. Mm-hmm.
Have you seen this?
I have
This
not.
anime?
That's gonna join the ranks of those unique anime titles for me, though.
It's a farming anime.
I see. I see. I mean, I'm all for that. That's two of my favorite things, or at least farming sim in animes.
Yeah, we clearly love our farming
Yeah,
sims.
we do. I mean, who doesn't really?
Um, Bochi the Rock. I always love music-based anime.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm a sucker for idol animes as much as those are usually trash.
Also, hey, that's fair. I understand.
I love them. Oh, and this one's done by Cloverworks, so
Oh, okay.
it's
Yes,
gonna be
that's-
beautiful.
Of course.
It's gonna
of
have some good
course.
music.
Mm-hmm.
The story might not be great, but the animation and the music are gonna be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Do It Yourself, which is a DIY anime.
Huh.
Have you seen this?
I have not. I feel
It's
like
just about
we're running through
yeah.
different genres that I was not
It's
expecting.
about a
from the
bunch of
anime.
girls that just do DIY products.
That's actually kind of an
I didn't
interesting
hear about
concept. I
this
like that.
till today,
Mm-hmm.
and I laughed at first. And then I watched it. I was like, why does this look good? Why am I interested?
Why is this? Yeah, why am I interested?
Like,
why am I enveloped in what's
I'm
going
not
on?
a DIY kind of person, but it's just a
Mm.
bunch of like girls just making furniture, and I'm like, this looks. I'll take it. You know.
Honestly, you slap anime on sometimes some of the most mundane things, and it makes it that much better. I don't know. I don't know how it
I
works.
feel like I don't know. It kind of gives me like laid back camp vibes where it's just a chill,
It's just a
cute
chill one.
anime.
Yeah. Sometimes you like to watch stuff and you don't want to be constantly on edge or worried about the well-being of the characters involved.
Yeah. Let's see if there's any other ones, quick ones. The new Gundam looks interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, that does.
Animation of that looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
There's one about an alchemist girl who runs an alchemy shop. It looks like the Atelier games, but just as an anime.
As an anime. Are you sure it's not
So
part of
I'm
the
like-
Atelier series?
See, that's what I thought,
Mm,
but it's definitely not. It has no. Atelier is not even in the name.
interesting.
But that one looks cute.
Speaking of which, they're coming out with Atelier Res 3 at some point, I think.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, I think there was an announcement at the last State of Play or something.
There's a Legend of Anime or a Legend of Mana anime coming out.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
I am a huge Legend of Mana fan. I don't know how I feel about them making a show about it, but
That's
if it's
fair.
like anything like the games, it'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
Just depends on who's making it.
Oh yeah. I played Legend of Mana for like the very first time at a friend's house. I think like a few months back, and I really liked it. And I was like, okay. And then obviously I saw all the stuff in the anime, early stuff about the anime, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I'm glad they're actually doing something about that. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. And I think the last one, this is stupid that I am actually excited about this, but it's they're doing a renewal of Digicart. I don't know if you know what that is.
I don't.
Granted, they're like renewing like every old show.
Yeah,
now,
I mean,
but
well, that's just content creation in the 2020s.
It's like
we
a
gotta
little
revive
kid's
everything, you know.
stupid show, but they're doing like a mini series about it, and I'm kind of
Okay.
excited for it.
I might check it out then.
Hey, it's
yeah.
just cute cat girls. I mean,
Hey, you can't lose with that. But
I think those are the big ones that I'm interested in. There might be another one that I missed, but
okay. Well, think we only got a couple minutes left. I was gonna say I won't talk about it too much
Oh,
here, but
there is one more.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on a second.
I forgot about Akiba Made Wars
Ah, yes, that's right. I did see
by
more on
PA
that.
Works, which PA Works is always a fantastic.
Definitely.
Okay, what were you saying?
No, I was just kidding. I'm just kidding. We'll talk about this more as the episodes go on, but we are officially 3 weeks out from Sonic Frontiers, so prepare for me to get extremely more insufferable about it.
And officially 1 month till Pokemon, because it's the 18th.
That's right.
It's on the 18th of next month.
So, November's going to be filled with games for us.
Are exciting.
Yes, excitements are exciting. But yeah, that's really all I had. Did you have an Indie of the Week, Tetris?
I do. It's the one I teased last week.
Oh,
It is called Monochrome RPG. Mm-hmm. And it is well, hold on a sec. I lost my thing.
Uh-oh.
To slightly read about it.
Of course.
Of course. So it's a 1920s cartoon styled, kind of like Cupheady.
Okay.
But it's an RPG, and it's by, what's the company? This is a complicated name. They don't have a name that rolls off your tongue. DVNC Tech LLC.
DVNC Tech. Okay.
Now I am excited about this one. I think the Cuphead art style is super fun.
Oh yeah.
The old cartoony art style, and I think it could be fun for an RPG game as well. Mm-hmm. The combat system is you're in a comedy show. Uh-huh. And there's a lot of puns, and it looks really goofy, which is very much my vibe.
Okay.
I do have a little criticism because I want to help.
Of course.
Some of the art for it doesn't seem like, it kind of doesn't fit the style.
Interesting. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Like,
I'll have to look up it more, but
there's actually a demo of it right now.
Oh, really? Okay.
But if you look at it, like, some of it just doesn't. It seems kind of out of place. Mm-hmm. Some of the characters and stuff. Mm-hmm. So maybe by the end of when the full game's out, they'll have fixed that. But it does look a little out of sorts. Mm-hmm. But it looks like a goofy, fun game.
Yeah, it might be part of the polishing process. I'm sure they
probably
have some.
On my original project, I think I'd remade my first tree like 19 times or something. I have like every tree, and it looks like they've just completely changed. So hard to say, but yeah, I think it looks good. Well, maybe put it in the description.
Maybe. We'll see if we can link it in there. But I mean, if you
think that's about it.
If you got nothing left for us, Tetris, that's good from my end.
Let me look at my thing real quick. Mm-hmm. I think so.
Okay, cool.
Oh, actually, I do have one thing.
Yeah, go for it, dude.
So, I saw so tomorrow. I've been on my Dreamlight Valley experience.
Yes, you're that kick.
I'm 70 hours in, which is I've slowed down a little bit, but the next update's coming out soon.
Oh, interesting. Anything
tomorrow,
tangible
actually,
that they're adding?
It's a lot of bug fixes for this one, which
Makes
is
sense, yeah.
fine. It's a early access game still, but they're adding Scar.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I saw this hilarious thing on Google. It was somebody wrote what's the word?
Like I don't know, like a blog post, meme. I don't know.
Something like that, right? They made a post about, and it made me laugh out loud because it was so stupid. They're like, okay, so first of all, the title of it was like something about like Dreamlight Valley being an Animal Crossing clone, right?
Yeah.
That's like, I mean, it is. And then I clicked it just to read because I was like, I already know this is going to be stupid. And they go on to say that it's a clone of Stardew Valley, which...
Oh, okay.
if you've not heard this joke, everything at this point is like, because basically some people on Reddit were saying because the name Valley is in the name... And it has farming. It's a Stardew Valley.
Right.
Ripoff.
Well, I mean, I remember that going around. People were just saying
it's kind of a meme at this point.
Oh yeah. Well, people.
And it's like, What?
No, I was just gonna say anything farming sim related. I remember after
It's
Stardew Valley came out, they're like, "Oh, this is just
it,
Stardew Valley," and it's like, okay, no, it's not. And come on,
but
pay
if you
homage
know,
to the OG
yeah,
farming
if you
sims like Harvest Moon and Story of
yeah,
Seasons
if
and stuff.
anything, is Stardew is a ripoff. That's the funny thing. But
Exactly.
also, Dreamlight Valley is an Animal Crossing ripoff at anything, and they were going on how like the game wasn't afraid to be like evil or whatever, and how they were adding Scar, which was like apparently based off of Hitler. And I was just like, what what am I reading? This is
Oh,
the
jeez.
stupidest article is the word I was
Mm,
looking for.
yeah, yeah.
It was dumb, and they're like, Disney's not afraid to go eat. I was like, what are you
What are you
talking
talking
about?
about?
This is a kids game.
Uh,
It's
I mean,
and yeah,
yeah, yeah.
the Stardew Valley ripoff thing is hilarious to
Of
me
course, yeah,
because
yeah.
it's a new game. It's Stardew isn't. They didn't start the farming franchise.
Yeah.
There's been
They just kind of
millions of farming
popularized it,
games
really.
before it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But I guess that's. I mean, internet do as internet does, honestly.
Yeah, I have to tell you off stream because I can't really go into details about
No,
it. But
no
I have
worries, no worries.
a funny story that it kind of goes with it
Okay,
as well.
definitely tell me.
It's I mean, I will share it sometime but
Oh
not
yeah,
quite
yeah,
yet
but
because it has to do with the game that I did in a week.
gotcha. That
So
makes sense.
can't really go into that details on that one yet.
No
But
worries.
again, if you wanna follow us, we'll eventually put our links down in the
Yeah.
description.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to it
I'll
eventually
get
at
to
some
it
point.
at some point. Yes.
We'll also catch you next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything else, Alex?
Nope, that's gonna do it for me. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to another episode. If you're listening
Yeah,
to
thank
us,
you so much.
but
Appreciate it.
we'll try to be timely with our uploads and recording schedules, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Later.